hindi ko gusto tanggapin, kailangan tanggapin ko eh. Kasi nakita ko talaga yung ebidensya. Paikot, lahat na nagkwento, lahat na circumstances. Ang sabi ko nga kanila yung totality, yung conspiracy. Napakalinaw eh, malinaw na malinaw. Kahit ayaw ko tanggapin, kailangan tanggapin. Kung titingnan mo ang kanilang demeanor, no, kasi nakita ko sila sumagot eh. May nakita ko dyan, pinanood ko talaga yung pagtatanong.
Director General Gerald Bantag at ito pang isang opisyal na si RICARDO ZULEATA, mga kababayan. Kaya kanina sa press conference, unang nagsasalita dito ay si Attorney Eugene Haber na ang pinag-usapan kagad tungkol po doon sa pagkapatay ni Percy Lapid. So yan po. At isa sa mga dahilan ng pagsampa ng kaso nito, bagamat kampante ang ating mga otoridad sa kanilang pagsampa ng asunto, ay sapagkat naniniwala sila na matibay at malakas ang kanilang batayan sa kaso laban po sa dalawang idinimanda, mga kababayan. Itong si Secretary Boying Remulla sa kanya pong pahayag ay talagang pinsido na talagang malakas ang kanilang ebidensya doon po sa kaso, mga kababayan. Kaya dito, mga kababayan, ay palibhasa ito ay nasampahan na ng kaso, ay hindi po nangahulugan itong dalawang kinasuhan na sila si General Bantag at itong si RICARDO ZULEATA na convicted na. Hindi po ganun, mga kababayan. Sila po ay sinampahan at dadaan pa po sila ng proseso hanggang wala pong warrant of arrest na inisyo mula po sa korte, ay malaya po silang gumalaw, makakalakad kahit saan. Yun po yung ibig sabihin noon. Yan po yung proseso na yan, mga kababayan. At magkakaroon pa po yan ng tinatawag na preliminary investigation doon po sa piskalya. At tatawagin po yung both parties at magkakaroon po ng sagutan doon. Ngayon, ito pong, siyempre, itong piskal, ay siyempre hindi naman po pwedeng hindi niya suportahan yung kaso ng gobyerno laban po sa kina General Bantag at ZULEATA. Yan po yung mangyayari ngayon. So, pag nakitaan ngayon ng probable cause doon po sa sinampang kaso, at talagang iaakyat po ito doon sa taas, mga kababayan. Yan po yung proseso dyan. Pero tatandaan po natin, huwag tayong humatol sa kanila. Sila po ay malaya na makakilos, makalakad kahit saan habang wala pa pong warrant of arrest. Yun po yung mandatos ng batas, mga kababayan. Hindi pa po sila wanted para madali nating maunawaan, no? Hindi po sila wanted habang wala pa pong warrant of arrest. Ngayon, pag mayroon ng warrant of arrest, at yan po yung pagkakataon na sila po ay huhulihin na kung hindi po sila susuko. Yun po yung mga kababayan. Doon po tatawagin wanted yung mga taong ito. Pero ngayon, huwag nating kalimutan, hindi po sila wanted. Malayang-malaya po sila. Tulad ng walang nangyayaring kaso, mga kababayan. So yan po, mga kababayan. Ito nga yung resulta ng investigation ng PNP at NBI, at nakitaan sila ng positibong resulta batay po doon sa joint investigation ng NBI at police, mga kababayan. At isa sa pinaninindigan ni Secretary Boying Remulla ito pong testimonya mismo ng mga bilanggo. Wala pong kaibahan doon po sa testimonya laban po kay dating Senadora Laila de Lima noong mga nakaraang mga taon, mga kababayan. So, ayan po. Ngayon, ang proseso ay magkakaroon pa ng yung sinasabi kong preliminary investigation yan. Magkaroon ng sagutan para mas malinaw sa atin. Ano po? Pagbibigyan po ng korte yan. At dito, habang ang wala pang warrant of arrest, inuulit ko po, no, na mananatiling malaya sila, no, itong mga akusado. Pero kung mayroon ng warrant of arrest, ay yan po yung panahon. Kung hindi, inuulit ko po, para po sa ating kabatiran, ay yan na po yung pagkakataon na magiging wanted sila kung hindi po sila susuko sapagkat mayroon na pong warrant of arrest. So, kanina mga kababayan, kung ating napansin sa press conference sa kanilang pagsampa ng kaso doon po sa dalawang akusado, ito pong pangalan ni RICARDO ZULEATA, mga kababayan. Ngayon ko lang to naririnig. Ni kailanman walang nabanggit noon sa media ang tungkol sa taong ito na siya pala ay kasama sa kakasuhan. Ang nababanggit lamang po ito pong si General Bantag, na kahit pa ay wala pang kaso noon, ay tila lumalabas na sa mga news na si General Bantag ay nakasuhan na. Yan po yung nagiging issue. Pero anyway, alam na natin yun, tapos na yun. Dito, sa kinakaharap ng dalawa ngayon sa kaso, ay sinabi po ng DOJ, lalo na kay Secretary Boying Remulla, na siya talaga ay nagbitaw ng mga mabibigat na salita tungkol po sa kanyang paninindigan sa kasong ito. Ang sabi niya ay malaya naman na niya na humanap ng mahusay na abogado si General Bantag para harapin niya yung kanyang kaso sa korte. Kung talagang totooan niya na siya ay inosente sa usaping ito. Yan po yung pahayag ni Secretary Remulla, mga kababayan. So dito ay malinaw na ang kaso na ito, mga kababayan, ay laging nagiging pangbungad na testimonya sa kasong ito ay lagi itong mismong bilanggo. Ay dito sa kasong ito bilanggo din po ang nagtuturo doon po kay General Bantag ayon po sa investigasyon. Kung ang investigasyon na ito, mga kabayan, ay talagang tinatrabaho ng husto ng NBI at PNP. So, dito, talagang nakikitaan nila ng positibong ebidensya itong mga testimonya mismo sa kapwa bilanggo o dyan sa mga bilanggo. Kaya si Laila de Lima ay nakulong dyan dahil po sa testimonya ng bilanggo. Mga kababayan, kaya huwag po nating kalimutan na ang sinabi ni Secretary Boying Remulla na siya ay nagandahan talaga doon po sa batayan sa pagsampa nila ng kaso laban po kay General Bantag at kay ZULEATA. Yan po. So, ang usapin na ito ay sana para lang sa ating kaalaman, mga kababayan, sa ating mga kababayan, ay huwag po nating kalimutan, hindi po sila convicted. May proseso pa po at mahaba pa po ang proseso na gagawin dito. Sa ngayon, kasalukuyang malaya sila sapagkat wala pa pong inilabas ang korte ng warrant of arrest. At itong kahit na sila ay mahuli na o nasa kustodiya na ng otoridad, ay hindi pa rin po sila tinataguri ang convicted sapagkat wala pa pong paghatol sa korte. Mananatiling inosente sila hanggang hindi mapatunayan na nagkasala. Yan po yung ating batas, mga kababayan. So dito ay updates lamang natin ito dahil sa nangyari na tinupad ng gobyerno ang kanilang palugit na 3 to 4 days yung pagsampa nila ng kaso. Dito, ang pamilya Mabasa naman ay natutuwa sa nangyari at sa nangyaring pagsampa ng kaso laban po kina General Bantag at ZULEATA. Yan po. At dahil dyan, mga kababayan, ay antabayanan natin itong mga susunod na pangyayari dito sapagkat ito po ay magkaroon po ng preliminary investigation dyan sa piskalya, mga kababayan. At ang pansamantala, yan lang muna ang ating updates ngayon para maklarify natin sa ating mga kababayan na hindi pa nakapag balita sa isyong ito. At siyempre, ito ay usapin na legal pang-abogado, mga kababayan. Kaya batay po sa ating nalalaman, ay sinishare ko po sa inyo ang mga bagay na ito. So, God bless us all.
Good morning, everyone. Allow me to deliver a brief, not so brief statement. From the very beginning, the tragic shooting of Percy Lapid indicated that it was part of a larger scheme stemming from a deeper motive. As will be described and detailed in this report, what was discovered from the in-depth investigation of Mr. Lapid's death was the unfortunate transformation of a pillar of justice, the correction pillar, into a deep, large-scale, and systematic criminal organization. Thus, this presentation will show that a criminal organization exists and is embedded within a government office. And that office is none other than the Bureau of Corrections, which controls what the United Nations Office on Crime and Drugs describes as the biggest mega prison in the world. Percival Carag Mabasa was born on March 14, 1959. He is better known as Percy Lapid. Mr. Lapid was a journalist by profession and known for his hard-hitting and straightforward style. On October 3, 2022, at 8:30 p.m., Mr. Lapid was shot and killed on Arias Street, Santa Cecilia Village in Las Piñas City. He was driving his black Toyota Innova from his house to the studio when two persons riding a motorcycle in tandem situated themselves beside his car and fired 3 bullets, causing his instantaneous death. The two persons then fled towards Alabang Zapote Road. On October 6, 2022, Secretary Benver Avalos offered a reward of 500,000 pesos for anyone who would provide crucial information that would lead to the arrest of Mr. Lapid's killers. Alex Lopez then vowed to give another 1 million pesos as reward money. On October 9, 2022, Speaker Martin Romualdez announced that several congressmen jointly contributed 5 million pesos to the reward, which then stood at 6,500,000 pesos. Several pictures of the gunman were published by media and online, and the manhunt began. It was on October 17, 2022, that the gunman, by the name of Joel Escorial, surrendered to the police as he feared for his life, given the reward out and the publicity of the case. He surrendered himself together with a gun that he used to kill Mr. Lapid. After a ballistics analysis was performed, it was determined that indeed it was the same gun that was used in the killing. After questioning, Joel Escorial revealed that a certain June Villamor had contacted and contracted him to execute the orders to kill Percy Lapid. He revealed that there was one person from the New Bilibid Prison, or NBP, and another from the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, BJMP, as part of the conspiracy to kill Percy Lapid. In an effort to secure June Villamor within the NBP, the investigators requested NBP, but instead faced resistance, subterfuge, excuses, and all kinds of rebuffs, so that NBP officials could avoid the delivery of the inmate to their custody. In fact, on October 17, 2022, the PNP already communicated with certain Bucor officials to secure the co-conspirator to their custody. The Bucor officials denied that there was anyone by that name within their facility. On October 18, 2022, the PNP filed charges against Joel Escorial and other co-conspirators, including June Villamor, making the existence of the co-conspirator a public record. Still, the Bucor remained silent. Later that same day, the chief of the Southern District Police Station of Las Piñas, Police Colonel Jimmy Santos, who heads the Special Investigation Task Group for the Percy Lapid slay, proceeded to NBP to secure the co-conspirator. Again, he was met with much resistance, despite the information already having been made public. The receiving Bucor officials hesitated to even touch the request letter, indicating that they would be killed if they entertained such a request. They stamped the request letter and handed back the original copy. Police Colonel Santos knew at that moment they would not act at all on that request. On October 19, 2022, another team from the PNP requested for the custody of the co-conspirator within NBP, and the same was again denied. It was only on October 20th, 2022, that Bucor officials admitted that the inmate pointed to by Joel Escorial, namely June Villamor, was already dead. Police Colonel Jimmy Santos then proceeded to Eastern Funeral Services to find the body of the co-conspirator. He took a picture of the remains and sent the same to those police in custody of Joel Escorial. Joel then identified and validated that the person was indeed June Villamor, the person who had given him instructions to kill Percy Lapid. This sequence of events implies that the conspirators planned all along to silence June Villamor and cover up the crime, perhaps even before Joel Escorial's surrender. It was after this revelation that the President of the Republic, Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., gave his order to Secretary Remulla to preventively suspend Director General Gerald BANTAG while there was an ongoing investigation. This came after the President was appraised of the situation and made fully aware of the facts revolving around the death of the journalist. He then instructed for General Gregorio Pio Catapang Jr. to be designated as Acting Director General of the Bureau of Corrections. When the order of the President was effected on October 21, 2022, and Director General Bantag was suspended, and General Catapang Jr. stepped in on October 24, 2022, the latter immediately suspended all of Director General Bantag's people. It was found that DG Bantag's people were from BJMP. They were absorbed from BJMP into Bucor and were given very high ranks despite their low ranks in BJMP. This violates Item 15 of Civil Service Commission Memorandum Circular Number 3, Series of 2001, which prohibits the promotion of an employee to a position more than 3 salary grades above his or her former position. On the very same day, the sister of the deceased co-conspirator, June Villamor, surfaced and sought help from Senator Raffy Tulfo. Since the senator was in Geneva at this time, it was his brother, Secretary Erwin Tulfo, who took custody of the sister and brought her to the Department of Justice for her to share the information that she had. Upon arrival in the department, she met with Secretary Rimulya to share Facebook Messenger messages she exchanged with her deceased brother before he died. She showed messages sent to her at exactly 11:59 a.m. of October 18, 2022. In those messages, it was revealed to her by her deceased brother that if he were to die, the following gangs and persons would be behind it. Commander Alvin Labra of the Batang City Jail Gang, Commander Alfie Peña Redonda of the Happy Go Lucky Gang, and Commander Aldrin Galicia of Sputnik Gang. This declaration may be considered as a dying declaration of the late June Villamor. The most relevant portion of the exchange reads, and I quote, "Hey, ingatan mo itong sasabihin ko. Ilabas mo lang ito pag namatay ako dito. Kailangan walang makaalam nito hanggat buhay pa ako. Pag nawala ako, iparating kay Joel na ang sugo tulo na Commander Didi, Sputnik, Happy Go Lucky at BCJ. Tigang sa opisina ang sugo sa era, Commander Aldrin, Commander Labra, Commander Alfie. Basta ingatan mo yan na walang makakaalam hanggat buhay pa ako. Ayaw na damo pangutana." End quote. Translated to Tagalog, it reads, "Ingatan mo itong sasabihin ko, ilabas mo lang ito pag namatay ako dito. Kailangan mo lang makakaalam nito hanggat buhay pa ako. Pag nawala ako, iparating mo kila Joel ng utos ng galing sa commander ng Sputnik, Happy Go Lucky at BCJ. Galing ang utos sa opisina at inutos sila Commander Aldrin, Commander Labra at Commander Alfie." End quote. This was a major breakthrough in the case. Secretary Rimulya then caused and instructed Acting Director General Katapang Jr. to transfer the custody of those mentioned in the Facebook chat to the custody of the National Bureau of Investigation for further questioning and investigation. So, the three commanders mentioned in the dying declaration, plus one more suspect named by a confidential informant, were transferred. There, they revealed all. The relevant information is within the hands of the NBI and the PNP. Thus, through the unique concerted efforts of the National Bureau of Investigation and the Philippine National Police, with guidance from the Department of Justice and Department of Interior and Local Government, a thorough and candid investigation was conducted jointly. As a result, the NBI and PNP have filed 2 murder charges today. The charges are as follows. First, for the murder of Percival Carag Mabasa, better known as Percy Lapid, we have charged Director General Gerald Kitalig Bantag, DSO Ricardo Soriano Zulueta as principals by inducement. PDLs Denver Batong Bakal Mayores, Alvin Cornista Labra, Aldrin Micosa Galicia, and Alfie Peña Redonda are likewise charged as principals by indispensable cooperation for the murder of Percy Lapid. Second, for murder of Cristito Villamor Palanya, alias June Villamor E. Globa, or Crisanto Villamor, nickname Edoy, we have charged Director General Gerald Kitalig Bantag and DSO Ricardo Soriano Zulueta as principals by inducement. PDLs Alvin Cornista Labra, Alvin Micosa Galicia, Mario Hermones Alvarez, and Joseph Medel Jorfo are charged as principals by indispensable cooperation. PDLs Christian Dizon Ramak, Ricky Lamigo Salgado, Rodi Pabustan de la Cruz, and Joel Alog Reyes are charged as principals by direct participation. It was found through the investigation that both Director General Gerald Bantag and DSO Ricardo Zulueta were behind the killing of both Percy Lapid and June Villamor. The sworn statements of the PDL show a clear and direct line of communication from Director General and DSO Zulueta to Denver Mayores, who communicate with Alvin Labra, who then coordinated with Aldrin Galicia, who then orchestrated and executed the killing of Percy Lapid through his gang members and his gang members' contacts on the outside, ultimately ending with gunman Joel Esporial and his group. With respect to June Villamor, The same sworn statements of the PDLs show a similar clear and direct line of communication from the Director General and the SO RICARDO ZULEATA to Denver Mayores, who communicated with Alvin Labra and then coordinated the same with Arjun Galicia, who then orchestrated and executed the killing of June Villamor through his gang members. This time, June Villamor was suffocated to death by a plastic bag and held by his own gang members. This unique circumstance shows that the order came from a high official of the Bucor. One usually seeks refuge and protection from his own gang members. The fact that they killed one of their own means and indicates that there were instructions from the top and the gang simply had no choice but to execute. Director General Bantag had a clear motive to effect the murders. For Percy Lapid, it was continued expose by the latter of the issues against the former on his show, Lapid Fire. This is evident from the video sent by DSO Zulueta to Denver Mayores, which was later forwarded to both Alvin Labra and Aldrin Galicia. For June Villamor, it was the attempt to cover up the murder of Percy Lapid. We have initial yet credible intelligence reports that indicate that the money trails described by the PDLs match the bank activity of those charged. The self-confessed gunman stated that the reward for the murder of Percy Lapid was 550,000 pesos. According to the credible intelligence reports, within the period of September 15, 2022 and October 7, 2022, there were indeed cash deposits totaling the amount of 550,000 pesos. In sum, all the statements given by the PDLs and gunman Joel Escorial, coupled with evidence, corroborate as to the material facts needed to prove the 2 counts of murder. All departments and agencies involved in this case extend their heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims in these 2 cases. No amount of cases filed will bring their loved ones back to this world. However, the unfortunate deaths of both Percy Lapid and June Villamor will not go in vain. The investigation has brought to light the institutionalization of a criminal organization within the government. This will be the cause of many reforms in government and the strengthening of current mechanisms to ensure that nothing of this nature will ever happen again. This concerted and coordinated effort of both the DOJ and the DILG is a war against impunity and the continuous and gross disregard of the rule of law. Thank you.